Hello, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and I read this book a couple of weeks ago and I have to say I enjoyed it. I've read two other books by this author. I've read I think it's The Hunting Party and The Guest List. Now, I read The Hunting Party the beginning of this year, really enjoyed it. I then read The Guest List not that long ago, and then I pretty much read this straight after. And this author definitely has a set way she writes her books, which I find quite interesting. So, as the same with the other two, the books start off, it centres around a few main characters in a closed setting. So the first one was a hunting lodge, the second one it was a remote island for a wedding, and in this one it's a like an apartment building. And yes, you're following all the different people who live within the different apartments, and it centres around this girl, and she has come to the apartments to live with her brother, but when she gets there her brother is missing. And this is where it deviates a little bit from the other two books. So the other two books, I really liked them because they're murder mysteries basically, but in the first two books you didn't know who the killer was until the very end, but you also don't know who the victim is in the others. So you're guessing two things: who's the murderer and who's going to be the victim within these group of people. And I find that really interesting. You're trying to pick apart the different characters, who seems the most suspicious, who you think is going to be the victim, and it's a really interesting kind of guessing game. It's really fun. I really liked how she wrote those two. The way this one differs a little bit is you find out who is the victim pretty much straight away, which is different from her other books, but I still really liked that. I think because I'd read The Guest List so soon after, like before I picked up this one, I think if I'd read them and the plots were exactly the same, I would have got a little bit bored. But this one, it seemed a lot more fast paced because you knew who the victim was in this one straight away. It kind of kept you guessing. Then it felt like a race against time to figure out who the killer was. So yeah, that was really interesting. I liked that. So if you liked her other books, I think you will like this one. Like I said, this is more fast paced, and yeah, like I said, it's set around this girl who's moved into her brother's apartment, and she is basically hunting down her brother. She's trying to find the mystery: what happened to him, where did he go, who are these people that she's now living with in these different apartments. They all have very different personalities, and yeah, they're all very different people. You get different perspectives of them, you get little snippets of their thoughts of her living in the apartment and about her brother, how they were connected, how they all knew each other. So it says on the back here: the lonely wife, the party animal, the curtain twitcher, the secret lover, the watchful caretaker, the unwanted guest. And it says there was a murder here last night. Who holds the key to the mystery of apartment 3? So yeah, I absolutely love this. If you're into like closed circle mysteries, or like you know, mysteries that are set in small locations, you will really like this. If you liked her other books, I definitely think you'll like this one. Although I will say, out of the 3 books, I don't know, I'd probably say this is on par with The Hunting Game. I think I like The Guest List the most, just because the setting was really cool and the characters were all really off in that book, so it was really hard to guess what was going to happen. Whereas this one, I feel like you could guess a little bit more. It was a little bit easier to guess the plot, but it didn't take the enjoyment away. It was still really interesting. The characters were still like fun to kind of pick apart and get to know about them. The main character, she was okay. I didn't really care too much for her. I actually can't remember her name because I read this quite a few weeks ago. I think it's Jess. I'm going to see if I can pick her name out, because each chapter kind of has the different names. Yeah, it's Jess. Each chapter begins with different names of the characters, and then you kind of read from that character's perspective. So like you get the main character's perspective, and then you get the views of the other people of the main character. So yeah, I really like how this was written. I'm definitely going to pick up more books by this author. I think I gave the other two a 4-star. I want to say series, but it's not really a series because the characters are completely different in each book. I just want to say series because, like I said, the plots are quite similar. So if you do get bored easily with similar plot lines, then it might annoy you a little bit. Like I said, I read the guest list and then this one pretty much back to back. And I still enjoyed it. So I still think it's fun. If you are a true murder mystery fan, I would definitely say give this author a go. I'm definitely going to pick up more by her. But yeah, it says unlock the mystery, only you hold the key. So yeah, it was definitely interesting. I feel like there was a few more twists and turns in this book than in her other two. Her first one I feel like was a very standard mystery, aside from the, you know, obviously double guessing who the victim and the murderer are going to be. And then yeah, this one felt like I had a little bit more of a twisty ending, but yeah, it was still really interesting and a very fun read. So I would recommend this for lovers of murder mysteries, as I've said like 100 times in this video already. But I don't want to say too much about the plot because I feel like if you end up saying too much, you end up giving stuff away. But like I said, the characters are all very interesting. I wouldn't say many of the characters were likeable in this book. In fact, I don't think I really liked or was rooting for any of the characters in this book, apart from maybe I did want to find out, you know, if she did find out what was going to happen, or what happened, if she was going to be able to solve the mysteries of this strange apartment building. But yeah, I do recommend these books. I do really enjoy them. They're a good bit of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So I'm going to stop rambling and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your comments down below. Have you read anything by Lucy Foley? Have you read her other books? What did you think? And which one was your favourite one? Because like I said, so far my favourite was still the guest list. But I did highly enjoy this one as well. So that's everything I have to say. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye guys.